right.
Whoa!
All right.
That's
The
awesome.
July 4th edition.
Oh yeah.
It's July 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've got some patriotic or
Sing
political or whatever type
Yep.
poetry,
Yep.
can fit it in, then kudos to you. So I'm your host, Michael McClanahan,
Yay,
aka
Michael!
Potato Mike. And I'll be your host for the entire duration of the evening.
Excellent.
And we have to go 3 rounds. For those of you that are unfamiliar, we go in 3 rounds, round robin. You sign up on the list just like that. It's so easy.
Yeah.
A monkey can do it.
Oh my.
And actually, I would like to see a monkey read poetry. That would be awesome. Or grunt poetry. That would be cool. Or sign poetry.
Oh,
That's what they can do.
Monkey see, monkey sign.
We should book a monkey that can do that.
Yes.
Gorilla. So without further,
Point of order.
yes,
Point of order.
yes, Magic Jack,
I,
you have the floor.
I have the prize for the evening here.
Magic Jack has the prize. What do we do to win the prize?
Well, the judges have to decide who is the best new poem.
Oh, best new poem. I am SOL then. Okay, well I'm disqualified because I have not.
And it's an
written.
Elvis album?
Oh.
Well, no, it's interviews. It's interviews.
Okay, well who are the judges, Magic Jack? Is it you?
Well, you're in charge.
That's plural.
You have
Oh, I've got a judge
You have to
too.
decide.
Oh, I've got to be the decider.
Yes, you.
The great decider.
All right, well then let the great decider know if you're reading a new poem and you'll win this wonderful prize brought to you by Magic Jack. It's Elvis.
Interview.
Interviews with Elvis. Yes, the king. That should help you write some poetry too. And you should. What did he do? Did he drink a lot too? And then pop a lot of pills towards the end? Was that his thing?
We know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He died of a heart attack while he was pooping.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you work from that?
Life's tough. Life's
Okay.
tough. Put up with a lot of shit.
Yeah. In the spirit of someone that is good at bullshitting, no, that's a good thing. I think that is an awesome thing.
We should have.
Yeah, we've got Tom and Magic Jack coming up. Everybody, give them a big hand!
What are we doing?
I don't know.
What are we doing?
Oh no. Okay. Yes.
Tom and Scott. Yay!
Aha!
Happy birthday, America. I'm a bit preemptive. You gotta kill a village to save the village. No. Get used to defeat. I'm not talking about Belgium and the World Cup. I'm talking about Vietnam, Iraq. I'm talking about withdrawal from Afghanistan. I'm talking about crack in the slums. I'm talking about Air America. I'm talking about things you can't talk about, like your phone being monitored, your computer being monitored, against your consent. I'm talking about the violation of the Bill of Rights, the Constitution. I'm talking about the Iroquois Confederacy, which was a matriarchy. And that's the model on which we based the best parts of that document Benjamin Franklin was a part of. But this new document is written in air this evening. Your scripts, your ideas, your dreaming will sustain these ununited states. With 50 shades of grey, 51 states of what we're going, where we're going, we're walking down the streets today and talking to each other because they're not listening. This small tribe of listeners, active listeners, know that the rumours are yet unformed. The Republic of the future starts here and now. If you wish freedom of speech, you must be freedom of speech. If you wish to assemble and not claim that freedom, it's got to be this evening, because you can't delay, defer, or deny the future which is tapping on your door right now and saying, you can't say the virtual democracy today will save you with an instant app, zap. No, it's not like that. The sheer map of the future, metaphysically and spiritually, is ecologically you and me, community, which rhymes with poetry, even though it's free verse. Bottom line is there is no bottom line. There is no safety net. You may be driving this planet without brakes and come to an intersection. 2 roads diverge in San Marcos. You took both of them. And here we are in the unknown, which is where we always begin. And just to get here, it took all our lives up to this magic moment. Do you realize how much you invested in this magic moment? This one, not this one, but no, this one. No, not this one. This one. Unique, precious as you are. Individual self-selecting evolutionaries. Autonomous, interdependent entities. spiritual consciousness coming to the demigods of poetry and muse, because you knew all along that you don't need to know to be the song.
Alright, and coming up next we have the poet that is known as Benjamin Franklin. Yay!
B.O.Y. There's the man. Mr. Franklin, I presume.
I went to Walmart to get some more
Inspiration.
patriotic, and they didn't have no equals.
Oh.
This is called The Pink Lady. I think I'm gonna have a series of planes, and they're all gonna take off in imagination anyway. The Pink Lady. She is this pink princess of sensual sky, a pastel angelic poetess, a vibrant heartstring that jets around the world as the Pink Lady, landing with great fanfare to adoring audiences. She is piloted by a dynamic feminine fashion crew, for she is a plane showcasing women in full character, who stand up to stage presence as women performers in these free-spirited, strong-willed, assertive performances. Her interior decoration melts the drift soft pastel poetry, where inside she is a silken garden of perpetual love, where those that enter ooze with her grandiose glamour, saying that who flies with me must be feminine royalty. For she is the Pink Lady, that when she flies around the world, people flock to see her fly by, where everyone points up to her with pure pride, seeing her flowered, sunshine-spirited dress, the pink princess of the sky, for she is the Pink Lady.
All right, and coming up next we have Louise. Yay! And to the new people back, this is San Marcos Poetry Night, and if y'all would like to read any poetry, no, just came to listen and read. That is awesome.
And there's
People further back, yes. If y'all would like to read, let me know, and I can sign you up. Which y'all, is that a nod?
We're just listening.
Listening? All right, yeah, that's awesome too. Yes. It's all good. Okay, without further ado, Louise.
Thank you. Back in the 80s and early 90s, I belonged to an improv troupe called Comedy Sports. You may have seen many incarnations of it. There's one in San Antonio now. And in 1988, when I recorded for public access television, I recorded my Monty Python-esque version of Hamlet the Dane, or And Now for Something Completely Rotten in the State of Denmark. Many of the Comedy Sports people were in the show, and Hamlet himself was the man who is usually the referee in Comedy Sports. And he was a little bit more conservative than most of the rest of us. But, you know, he was a Midwestern conservative, and those Midwestern Republican. You know, Midwestern Republicans and New England Republicans were kind of moderate in those days. But lately he's been on Facebook and, you know, apologizing for the Tea Party, and I feel really sad about that. So I wrote this poem with him in mind. Mr. Conservative.
I like it already.
Where does it get you, Mr. Conservative, in your mean, measly, weaselly little world? You're so worried your taxes will help someone. So certain the poor are out to rob you. So afraid minorities will profit at your expense. Where does it get you? What is the benefit? If there were no taxes, what would the world be? You actually think your $30,000 per would be an actual $30,000 per, don't you? But your very salary is part of the inflation, rising because of taxes, expenses, health costs. No, your $30,000 per might just be $3,000. And your roads would be all potholes and mud. Sewage would ebb and flow in your streets, and your children would die of dysentery. Stay in your mean, measly, weaselly little world, and stop sucking all the oxygen out of mine.
Suck that oxygen.
All right, the claws are out. Shots fired.
Yeah.
All right, the new people in the back.
Yeah.
Would you like to read? Yes.
Yes, I want to read.
Yeah, right.
Literacy.
And coming up next, we have Mr. Jack Henry.
America. Where's the flag?
Steel driving man.
Put the other way.
Super America!
Yes.
Hello, I'm tall.
Yes.
Okay, so I asked people if they wanted me to read a depressing poem or a happy poem. They said depressing, so.
How about both?
That's where I got here.
Literacy, man.
Let me scroll a little bit. All right. It's not horribly depressing. Just a bit sad.
Is it new?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's all.
New shit.
New shit.
Tom knows what's up.
Yeah.
Ruminations on a summer night highway. At night, the large American flags that hover above car dealerships look subdued. Certain stretches of highway resemble artistic impressions of the gates of hell. Large beams of invisible light protrude around and through you, and visible darkness is always to the right. You helped me find something out about myself tonight. Your cruise control puts my feet at ease and tempts my eyes to close. Jesus took the wheel, but he can't drive a stick. I am empty as the darkness to my right, shapeless, formless. History evaporates into the purple sky. I am empty as the darkness, full of stars, but even the stars are nothing. Could the shapeless, formless darkness to my right ever take wing into something beautiful? I look to it, and all the shapes and blurry silhouettes, the shifting haze of a landscape, all that corrupts it into something my eyes can focus on that is apart from darkness. Houses, street lamps, exceptions to the rule. My darkness, how you wilt and bend, how you are eternal, how you are broken. I am empty as the horizon, distilled into my sort of body. Abiding rules with no reason but faith. Faith, a kind of laziness that feels like acceptance. Faith, a kind of love that falls and clings arbitrarily, like a willow tree choosing which direction to fall. If ever I was certain kind of man, or any certain man at all, I was wrong. The drowsy eyes that guide me home are empty. The lazy river moves. The fish inside are empty.
Oh,
Hey, that wasn't dark. That was light.
All right. Coming up next, we have Robin.
I think I wasn't looking.
Shay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna read?
Just say yes.
All right, that's cool. All right. People behind Shay.
Come on
Would
down.
y'all like to read?
Yes. I would.
No? Just to listen? All right, that's cool too.
Robin, I think you can push it down and then turn it toward you a little bit.
Yeah, I know that's not the problem. It's I've got to sign back into my computer. And I do know my password. That's not the problem. I'm just not to.
Would you like to go
Go
after
after the next
Scott?
person. Yeah.
Scott,
You're the
Scott, everybody!
Great Scott.
Oh no, I have to be spontaneous.
Oh!
Plan it, baby. Plan it. Hang on, let me get my guitar.
Oh.
And as some of you know, this is just something for me to fiddle with while I talk, so it's okay. Whoa. Can you buy me? I'm trying to keep it a G rating. Oh, too late for that already.
Oh yes, you said.
For those of you who are just coming in and don't know the scope of things, this video will be posted on YouTube in a couple of days under the nice wordy title of Open Mics Awesome Live. So
YouTube.
we're going out now and later.
Yeah.
I think the first one is always the one that just gets those things out of your head that have collected in a month's time or a week's time or a day's time or last minute. And I don't know about the whole thing about newness, that just cracks me up, but something that's been getting into my consciousness is the fast pace at which we're all moving. I am a programmer by nature, not by heart, but by nature. So I've programmed everything in my life. I do things that don't need programs, but I program them anyway. And I burst out, man, don't program that too. That doesn't need to be programmed. And out of the quiet consciousness at my back of my mind is my grandpa, my grandfather. He died when I was 14. And it wasn't until I was in my 40s that I realized he was the first doorway I had ever stepped through. And he's still in this room somewhere. And it may be just something that, for whatever reason, I'm in too of a hurry to do with my children or not. But I remember sitting at my dining room table at my parents' apartment and watching him peel an apple. And I haven't seen anybody peel an apple in 30 years. But it wasn't just that he peeled an apple, and it's not that just today I took the time to filter through my cigarette butts as slowly as he did that apple. But he did it with such tenderness and heart that he did it in one pass. He would sit with his knife. And it wasn't for him that he was carving the apple. He wasn't like saying, oh, I want a nice apple and I can't stand the peel, which kids do. It was for us. So for the space of 5 minutes, the world was on hold. And all that was in his mind was an apple. And the fact that he didn't want his grandchildren have the bitterness with the sweetness. If I break out in tears, it won't be the first time. It's happened before. And just bear with me, we'll get through it together. So the next time you sit down or turn your ear to a poet or a dream or a bird or a fantasy, no, as Pete Seeber put it so well, you are exactly where you're supposed to be and you are not running late. This is what I'm supposed to do, tell you about my grandfather. And what you're supposed to do is sit and just nod comfortably. I dedicate this to my brother, my blood brother, because I have many brothers. I have brothers of microphones, I have brothers of walls and dreams and sins. Sons. If you did the math, I've seen more than 10,000 suns rise and set. But none of them is better than the one that rose today and none of them will be better than the one that sits tonight. Because for the space of 3 hours we'll sit, peel apples together, and throw away the rinds. Peace.
All right, coming up next we have Robin. Yay!
This is perfect. I prefer to sit. Okay, let's see. This is totally off the subject. It was inspired by an image in a book about Mayor Baba by the Australian poet Francis Brabazon. So here we go. Children love to play in the dust to dust. Close to the beginning, they have no concept of an end. Inspired dust themselves, breathing with God's breath, they seek mud in the elements, and there will be no end for them, only passages to adulthood and the lives after lives. I must be a young soul, if not a child myself. I have no desire to end my string of lives. When the sun burns out, I hope God provides a new crag of rock for me and any others who seek the all in all through tangible incarnation. Reality is nothing and nothing is reality, Francis writes elsewhere in this book. Or maybe I have that part wrong. The incarnation is not a way I'm yet ready to give up. Let's see. I've always liked dreams. I realize Mayor Baba could be said to have come to bring a message, not because he needed life himself, although perhaps he was willing to delight life while he was here. Maybe he was the God-man, the self of us all, the thread which holds us together and draws us forward through imagination, not simply a bodhisattva or a prophet. As a Texan, I've heard a few too many of the wrong things about Jesus to want God to take a human form, despite my true love of a long line of Christian mystics and no-nonsense Marcus Borgian rational interpreters of Christianity. The image I saw of children playing in the dirt is the only poetry in this poem, so I will steal again and more directly. Art is the love of God, Francis writes, and that is something I can tell you with no doubts at all. It's the truth of every mystic in the universe in a simple sentence. For what is vision but an art form of love? Thank you.
All right, coming up next we have Mr. Magic Jack.
Since everybody's sitting, I'll sit too.
Oh, all right.
Let me just take a moment to look at all the wonderful faces in the room tonight. It's just so amazing that people will show up on a hot night like this.
Woo!
Half of the people here actually I know from Austin.
Oh!
Travel all the way here because this is such a cool thing. So I'm going to disqualify myself as contestant because number one, it's not new.
Elvis. I love you, Elvis, and
Test. Okay, that's good. So yeah, it's not brand new. It's new, but it's not new enough to qualify for tonight's prize. But there are some conciliatory prizes. I'll tell you about that after I do. So who was here last year for the 4th of July? Was it? Raise your hand if you were here. There was a wonderful, bigger crowd than we have tonight. We got an amazing photograph from that night. Well, this night promises to be even more enthusiastic than last year. What I'm going to read is from my bucket list, and it's a wish for all of you until the next 4th of July. And my wish is for you to recall the happiest moment in your life. My hope is for you to carry that in your heart of hearts. Remember, something was pounding and exploding in your chest. And my hopes are also wishes and sometimes prayers. In the pounding of my own heart, they often become one. Yes, the truest fulfillment comes in having spent it all in sharing. There is scant hope while dwelling in darkness. In those caves, only the bats and snakes find shelter. No vendible audacity nor any nourishment feeds the soul. I wish for those I love to avoid danger and harm. To be free of deep pits and the endless circuitous avenues of grief. Be safe from thieves and oppressors. I look for the sun streams bursting through the clouds, and I am awestruck by the power of creation that we share. My greatest wish is to meet us all there in that special place, in that somewhere. But not right away. Thank you very much. The conciliatory prize are copies of this poem, if you'd like to have one. This wish goes out to all of you, the best to all of you until the next 4th of July. And they'll be down at the dissemination table where you see Tom back there wearing the flag.
Dissemination.
Yes, the table of dissemination, where you may purchase this at no cost. Just have it come tonight. Thank you very much.
All right, I'm gonna sit over here, and so if this seat right here is available. I think maybe that seat is possibly available, and there's also this lovely looking stool that would put you, or you can move it if you don't like really being in the spotlight the whole time. We can maybe change that up for you. But yeah, so there's seats around for y'all, also people. You don't have to be so popular and stuff. Okay, so anyway, I'll just keep blabbering. Coming up next, we have Tara. Yay! Oh, and if any people that have just walked in, if y'all would like to read, do y'all want to read? Any of y'all new people back there? No, just want to listen? Just want to be awesome and listen? That's good. Okay, all right. Then you do that.
Hello? Oh, it still works. Lovely. There, unencumbered.
Watch out.
This is gonna knock me out. Okay. I'm so happy y'all are here. What fun. Okay, thanks. So anyway, this is called...
Moving right along.
This is a new poem. And that's one reason why I was here. So excited because I've just been writing these poems, and now I get to share them. Poetry is so inspirational, isn't it? It is. And obviously, maybe hopefully to you all. So anyway, so this is called the Dharma Doctor. And Dharma is a Buddhist term, and it simply means the work that we're here to do, like, of awakening from the illusions and delusions and just that kind of stuff. And the word dhoti is this, it's this like little white diaper that Indian sadhus wear, and Indian sadhus are just kind of these guys who just are like lost in the orgasmic ecstasy of bliss, and they just wear diapers, and they just go and bliss everybody out. They're just little bliss babies.
Good job.
So, yeah. Okay, so it's called the Dharma Doctor. A sublimely sensual Dharma doctor came to me in a dream, dressed in a white dhoti with black hair to his waist, his eyes as white as the sun, shimmering with cosmic love. He showed me a huge clay pot and said, "You are this pot. The form is not real. Give up your grueling grip of identity to this false form." The doctor and the dhoti slammed the pot on a hard rock. "Now, what is left of the pot?" he enticingly inquires. Shards of the original form lying on the ground? I lamely respond, ah, you are looking and yet not seeing. We look with limited sight. The limitation of looking arises from the false self that desires only to grasp and attach to the form. To identify with form is a carefully conditioned program throughout lifetimes. He takes off his dhoti and wraps it around my eyes. I feel the dream doctor step back and ask, now, tell me, what do you see? I inhale, the dhoti slides off, and I say nothing. Yes, no thing. The form breaks, shatters into minute pieces so small they become part of the earth from which they were molded. And what is left? No thing. Yes, boundless space, I dance in delight. This space is your true nature. This emptiness is a formless form from which all of life is lovingly born and supremely held while it walks its spaciousness on earth. In your world of diverse shapes, you, as a two-legged mammal, are divinely endowed with the capacity of conscious choice. You are supremely gifted with the ability to choose to feel what is real. Fear is an illusion, disguised as love. Fear is an intuitive instinct designed as a warning system. This system is shared by all sentient being creatures, the pig, the spider, the fish, the hawk, and yes, to the tree. Fear is not intended to drive your magnificent vehicle. Your earthly circumstances are created by you and divinely designed especially for you as juicy experiences to feel love in many dimensions. Each of us are just visiting this planet of love. You are the clay of the pot. You are the emptiness of the pot, and you are all that is and all that is not. You are everywhere, nowhere, and most definitely here. The Dharma doctor picks up a shard of the pot. Fear looks at the pieces and shrieks, oh no! This is the condition of your conditioning, creating an instant field of poverty, blinding the light of boundless love. Every fiber of this clay costume you call a body resonates with luminous love. Turn your looking inside and you see that the inside is turned out. Seeing is done with the eye behind the eyes. A true human feels the pulsing flow of electric love when the restless mind rests. A true human experiences ecstatic emptiness in the breath between the breaths. A true human consciously chooses to create a thriving life for all beings in Gaia, moment to moment, dancing, dancing, dancing with the shadows in the light of awareness. Come, 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 dance with me. Come, radiate your love over love through the altar of your open heart. The Dharma doctor rests on a rock, closing his eyes. Well, an open heart? What's an open heart? I ask. In answer, I close my eyes and open them to see the breath within the breath breathing the doctor's body. I see love's breath fueling with luminosity each cell of his form. I see the doctor's heart pulsing with electric love, a sovereign offering to earthly life. A swarm of bees buzz bomb his body. A multitude of fire ants begin to trek upon his toes. A fly dives onto his nose. Still, in stillness, the Dharma doctor breathes love's breath. His heart grows larger, attracting more love in all forms. A hummingbird hovers above his head. A rabbit hops upon his lap. A snake slinks up his leg. A scorpion softly seduces his finger. Lightning flares out of the pure white cloud, igniting the top of a tree, instantly extinguished. Surrounded by silence, a great symphony plays in ecstatic embrace of all, just as it is, no matter what it is. Dr. Doty's mouth opens to smile and speaks. An open heart rests securely in a mind full of emptiness. The grueling grip of identity to beliefs bound by conditions relaxes in love's breath, breathing the body supremely safe, entwined in invincible vulnerability. You become love's fool, wisely dancing in the wonder of now, ecstatically exploring this paradise called life.
All right, thank you for that. Yeah, now coming up next, we have Emily. Yay! And just so you know, we've got 3 more poets after that. And what I would like to do, since there's so many beautiful people here, so many awesome people, is take a photo for the website, which is on Facebook. All of y'all could be a part of that. That would be awesome. Y'all be awesome. All right, without further ado, Emily.
Okay, this is a new poem, so new it doesn't have a title yet.
Excellent.
The truth is, I want many great loves, beginning with someone who knows how to be still. Someone unafraid to lie with me this way, flat like Chagall lovers soaring over rooftops, or cats slipping under logs to avoid even the lightest of rain. Someone unafraid of me. Maybe I will commit him to memory, like I did when I was a little bird and made nests out of keyholes. I did this with the door leading to my parents' bedroom, who were giants back then, their winnings so much bigger than their mistakes. I guess I could always settle for someone who likes the water, will look at the bones underneath, shaped like aquatic wind chimes. Seldom do they ring. We'll jump in and land among the wild rice that float like strings of shredded stationery. We'll race each other to the roaring end, and even the stars, in their far blue origami shapes, will beg us not to stop.
All right, and coming up next, it's this guy, your host, Santa Mike. I fooled y'all. All right, and this guy has not written a new poem. I know. For boo, I know, I deserve it. So what I'm going to read instead is a poem that I read the last 4th of July, 1 year ago, just about.
But it's new to us, we weren't here.
It is new to a few of y'all, a lot of y'all actually. So, and for the people that were here last year, I am so sorry, please forgive me. I think we'll, and I'm trying to find it and do. This is the song that you hear when he is looking for his poem. And here it is. All right. This is called Hark, a Backhanded Anthem. Hark the perilled youth sing, regret over the elected king. War on earth and mercy lost, king and sinners reap the cost. Joyless, all ye nations fall, isolated from the denizens' call. And when the evangelical proclaim Christ reborn and our King by name, hark the perilled youth sing, regret over our elected King. America, a rose to be adored, now's become worldly abhorred. Long ago she lost her way, when man's greed came into play. Veiled in politics for all to see, too long we've accepted this reality. Now our hearts and minds must clear to live a life without fear. Hark the perilled youth sing, regret over our elected king. Remember the spirit of the Prince of Peace. Remember, piety doesn't mean righteousness. Light is life for all that know. A life of greed takes a world of toll. And if we cherish the all in us, might we understand the universe. So grab your good neighbor's hand and shout out across the land, hark the perilled youth sing, regret over our elected king. Thank you. And coming up next, we have Cynthia. Yay!
I don't have a song while I'm searching for the poem, but I
Searching for a
I'm having a lot of fun studying artists, and when my time and money allows, I've been tracking down their work and experiencing it and writing poetry about it. So this one is called Jackson Pollock, painting number 30. Time, canvas, space, paint, gravity, reach, pour, lean, drip, fling paint from a stick, masterpiece in motion, there is no error, mistake denied. Genius happened here.
And our last poet of round one, please welcome to the stage, Jamie. He didn't want to read, but I wrote his name down. Jamie, yay! Get up here. Yeah. And then after that, we're gonna do like a 10-minute break, and then it's round two.
Picture first?
Oh yeah, picture. I was just talking about that earlier too. He's got my back. He's got my back. All right. Yay.
So, I'm sure a lot of poets have read this. I've never done this before, so I'm a little nervous. So you'll have to forgive me. Okay. Okay. This is called Take the Time, Humanity, Remember? Leonard Bones McCoy said that if something is important to you, you'll make time for it. Hey, something is missing, something is hissing, oh so hissing to the next line. What's that sound? Ah, it's the next rhyme. Aphorism, something said, worthy of note, something of note to crack a mind, something notable to knot a throat. I can't speak. Where's your courage? I can't listen. Where's your courage? I can't think. Where's your courage? I can't feel. Where's your heart? Where's your soul? Oh, blessed humanity, I want to know. When I gander at your canvas and I see what you've painted, what will your monologue say? When I look at your canvas, what will I hear? Oh, I know when I see your canvas, I'll remember that day. The way your paint is curled, furled, and at times, frustratingly hurled. But 'tis alright, lest we be not human. Oh, in my painting, oh, I use oil. It never sets, it never dries. My paints, it is continuing on like the sky, but a paint rewarded with patience the mystery lies. And perchance I spatter my paint upon you, know that its mark is not merely fleeting. Oh yes, and with patience you'll remember my humanity's teething. It is sincere that this spatting was not of poor regard. Humanity, remember? I meant well, and I mean well, to correct that mark. My bits of humanity spattered like drops in a rose, and with time, my bits of humanity no longer polished like a morning dew, but rather grazed with intent upon you. I turn my hands over, and what do I see? Where are yours? I feather my vision about so as to know certainly. Nothing here, nothing as of yet. Still gathering your materials, you say. What's that? Unsure of where to take it? Don't you know? You don't know how hold the brush, you say. Don't know what to. Oh, now hush. Come here and sit. It's that lingering push that makes you go. Yes, and here's a little something for you to know. Your existence is your canvas, and your materials your memories. Through great and gloomy that linger and last. Come hither, a secret I'll whisper. You started gathering at your birth. Yes, and how folks like me view those strokes, curls, furls, and pearls, and what's kept froze in your mind, in your heart, and what you chose, or what makes me take pause and wonder so as to know. So take the time, and I'll know what's important to find. Thank you.
All right, it is picture time, Magic Jack. Oh yeah. Tom, Magic Jack. Okay, everybody, welcome to round 2 of San Marcos Poetry Night. Oh, you lovely, lovely people. Such great energy. Anyone that did not read in round 1, if you want to read in round 2, just let me know, and I'll write your name down on this list. Like just kind of like flag me down or something like that. All good. Okay. So. Coming up first, we have Tom with Magic Jack.
Hello, migrants of America. You're all migrants of America? Unless you're Cheyenne or some noble indigenous, we're all from somewhere else. I'm from somewhere else. The bottom line is this. You talk about the children coming across your borders, well, that's humanitarian. If you treat the strangers, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. That was a French poem on the French gift. That was a Statue of Liberty. So, poetry and welcome are two things that are missing in 2014 when we see a humanitarian problem. When the children were told, just get across the border, young Hondurans, and you will survive, and Obama will open the arms and doors of all the jails, and you will go inside. You may find a seat on the bus still for the young children coming across the border because they believe that blood and treasure is not the only thing that this un-America offers you. You who are already here, you say, oh, borders, Now I had a friend who came across the Rio Grande. He was carried by his mother and became a wonderful poet in this land. And he stands on the streets and says, why can't we welcome everyone? And the police are using your money, your tax dollars to say, no, I'm not you, son, and not you, ma'am, and not the children, and no to anyone who isn't already here and has a reason. You see, I paid $5,000 over 3 years to become a resident alien in a strange country, and then of course I was fingerprinted, videoed, criminal record, health, and finally they passed the audition and I'm allowed to be in this United States as a citizen. And they say to the children, if you come across illegally, you will not be allowed to be in this blessed country. And the children, they only have their own body and nothing else to defend them. So we say what we're doing. Where's our hands of welcome? Where's our open door, our open hearts, our open eyes? If we can't welcome the children of the future, what hope for people of the past? You see, this land was settled by non-indigenous. First they killed the native tribe, but you all know that smallpox and the blankets, massacre like the bison. And those who survive by integration know the truth of this nation, archaeological inundation by those who say they own this nation. Still, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses burning to be free, and I will say, come across the border and live with me.
Thank you, Tom and Magic Jack. Coming up next, we have the poet, Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin!
They say free speech is free, but in a lot of ways it costs if you actually use it.
Yeah.
Seems like free speech is only for certain people. And if you're not in that class, they find ways to step on you, crush you, and put you into a muted mood. I was terminated for poetry 10 years ago, so I'm living my American dream. And they still have to find ways to try to silence people when the people try to open up minds. And this poem here has to do with lamination where they'll laminate a piece of property and they automatically increase the prices. And that's kind of like in Austin, you know, they do a little $10 improvement and it's a $50 raise in rent. But this is a little bit what to do with it. And by the way, they did raise my rent $20, but I don't know what happened, but somebody fussed and it went back down.
Yay! Yay!
So I guess there is some sort of free speech I guess around it. But here's the 407 Blues. Oh Austin, how art thou atmosphere, riding the drift flowing Colorado veins, in that heart that ripples alive Texas. Hear that live music resonate so pure, upon aroused magical finger vibrations, and that might even be named Jack.
Oh!
I did put that one. That was fun. Even it went over his head too. I like that.
Just woke me up.
Upon roused magical finger vibrations, stringing together the pure harmony of Texas, singing adrift Austin's Colorado love melody. One lives in this Austin room 407, upon an inflated American dream 407. Now sharing this Austin dream reality 407, where a last one lives fixed broken on Social Security, with rising conservative value prices. This Vietnam veteran has many riding tribulations with these American Austin dream waiting blacklist. That one exists with these endless waiting line backlist, that one will try to get Austin miracle subsidized housing. But one thinks one has to be at least 110 years young to get it. Oh Austin, where art thou, poetic bungalow, where upon the Colorado full moon tide, one can howl dynamic full of Texas tea. Where upon midnight true grit sails upon the banks of the mystic Colorado, vibrates the spectrum heart of Austin, in the proud heartbeats of Texas tea, drifting in pride heartmosphere called America, Star-Spangled Banner. Room 407, you are going up $20 a week, $80 a month to $14,560 a year in what I make in Social Security. That the retirement funds that keeps me alive, that glimmer in a glimmer of hope, now needs open magnifying $100 spectacles. But alas, one feels truly homeless in America upon making sense out of free speech poetry that a poet could care less about. For after all, we are a Rockefeller Foundation of America, having a half dozen Romney tax-free mansions that one wishes they could hang alive in effigy upon the conservative Rothschild Van Gogh wall, but God forbid to be castrated conservative, preferring not to be a co-brother partition for billionaire bling pompous classes of America. Why write any free verse poetry when you know you are poetically powerless? The demagogues reign at America's Supreme Court, where the wrath of righteous indignation judgments, where those nails bleeding in living suicide struggles, one crawls up from the death despondence of woe to face those Rothschild wraths of poetic imagination, to be proud with himself worth miles of accomplishment, even as small as may seem to other BBB bigots, that Maya Angelou and MLK's I Have a Dream. I have this room 407 dream blues upon tears torn in faith, where one can imagine a fairy tale poetic bungalow, this magical small shack gem full of heartmosphere, where one gives poetry I have a dream in 407 lessons.
All right. Hey, and to the people that have come in, just come in, are y'all going to read?
Yes.
Daniel, right?
Yep.
Yes. Awesome. Very good. Okay, coming up next we have Louise.
Thank you. This one's not quite as new as the last one. I wrote this one yesterday morning. For a group that Robin founded.
Yay, Robin!
Called Harriet's Group. It's named after her cat Harriet, who doesn't like to travel, but Robin goes home and tells her all about what happened in the group. I've downloaded from Amazon Prime lately. I've downloaded Ken Burns Jazz, and every morning I wake up and I watch a new episode of that, which I saw back in 2001 when it was first broadcast. And there was an image I saw. It was black and white film, and it was just a circular cameo of the river, probably the Mississippi going by, and it looked to me like an old vinyl phonograph record, and they may have intended that being a story of jazz. And I wrote this poem, and it's not just about jazz, it's about American music in general, which is all connected. It's called Grooves. Like grooves turning in dark vinyl, the tuneful river flowing from tributaries down the bosom of the continent, through the Crescent City pendant to the placid Gulf of Mexico. The nation's music drains from all regions into the mighty, muddy Mississippi and sails north again and out to all points. Levees could not hold back the beat, bold like hurricanes are from West Africa, across the stormy Atlantic Middle Passage. Foes of misogyny could not stop from mixing cultures of Europe and the Dark Continent into a music for the world to have and to hold. From the melange of melody, harmony, rhythm, the rivers Niger, Shannon, Thames, Tiber, from plantation, opera, shanty, parade, brothel, from New Orleans, Boston, Chicago, Tupelo, Kingston, all streams fill the watershed of the music, named from extant terms waiting to be dubbed: blues, jazz, swing, bebop, rock and roll, soul, funk, as each new occasion demands a fresh moniker. And the music goes round and round, into the air and falls to earth, everywhere.
Thank you. All right, coming up next we have Mr. Jack Henry. Come on down. Yay!
America. Old story.
I'm going to sit this one down.
Down.
This is apparently a really tall. How you feeling tonight?
Hot.
Woo. America is the bomb. I still don't know what this bumper sticker means, but it was free. And in that spirit, here's an oldie, but a goodie. It's good. It's called Bulging Silent Freedom, Trusted Satan Eyes. Just buckle yourselves in. I wasn't even 2 days Jewish when the muse stuffed my ass with cotton. A happenstance took Mads and I on a journey. She took her first steps without me, became a woman of rosy, bruised cheeks, brimming with full-body mysticism, brought on by sudden bouts of honest with herself and beating. She traced back her steps for me, shook the gravel from her shoes, and showed me the road is full of pleasures that make your ass raw and blistery, that kiss you while your mouth is full of cum, that drag you through your dreams cunt first. We hopped a freighter on decent authority with lackluster memory for directions while the hearts revved themselves up the whipping post. We made a few turnarounds, and we took a toll on the roads. Passengers to be reckoned with, for we were free, screeching and wailing our favorite songs, no recompense, dangers plume, by the experiential God's magnanimous light. We found camp, dinged up the rear suspension, and scraped through to the other side. And a few panics rolled out towards the door. We signed away our lives to the mercy of mercy and greeted the warm night. The night hides in the mornings. It cowers from the sun under driveways, on sofas, in bedrooms and hallways, spade-strewn elevators in the Internal Revenue Service. Night never ends, it just comes out to play when the shadows coax it. Against the canvas, tied to equipment, bound, blight, crimson jewel, stomach acid, bilious momentum, strained, thunderous melody, cock and clit, bruising, overcome, the sorrow of forgiveness chimes itself over and over, little taps and smacks create an equal rhythm. Somewhere east of casual, staving off the decimation echo with consistency and verve, polyrhythms emerge, and sometimes carnal, sometimes lack of love, magnifies for the crowd, and the red marks down her face beg clemency from even the sky. Christ, but none will approach, simply sit and sip their beer and negotiate rope thick, wander around jolly, kind of pleased with the fact only strangers salvage for themselves. The gentle swaying hips that crave a good craving, stolen sex and rhythms multiply, house remix of Carmina Burana in the foyer, people who know themselves, display themselves, enjoy themselves, for the perverts writing eyes all over. Mads forges relationships in youth, in symbiosis, until corners expand into rivers. Requests get steeper and steeper. Selfish little girl greed so rewarded by the sadist with my name, or the formal talker with rough hands, moving in and out of the through space. Bulging, silent freedom, trusted Satan eyes give her dreams to put in her pocket and save for later, while stolen glimpses warm my interior, thick moments of unreasonable request to end the thud debacle. Erotic. I cannot simply say how erotic. Arching of the back in a moment of wanting without lacking, the curl of a lip, which makes macrame of my stoicism, periods of long, extreme longing, to hold, to massage the hand, to have her head in my lap so I can tell her she's doing so well. But the storm is by, and I don't want to speak, not like this. But when I look around at torches striking terror in the local mosquito population, and wire fences bringing property disputes to bay, moons stolen by the foliage, agony splintered across the stomach of someone's daughter, this is no channel on a television. One cannot simply take or leave the ecstasy. The ecstasy is madness, and Mads is the ecstasy. And an early night brings ecstasy and I into a violent, innocent night roar, shouting songs made of ether, all along the empty street, bridging the gap between we and the town kids who bike at death march pace before us.
Yeah!
All right, thank you. To any of the people that just joined us, if y'all would like to read, let me know. They would. That's Tom. I thought he was just throwing his voice.
Michael, I'll say one point.
All right, yes. What's your name?
DG.
GG.
DG with D.
DG. DG. Wow, thanks. That was a group effort, everybody. Yeah, but that's how that works. All right, coming up next we have Robin.
Robin!
Yay!
Well, I have formal and informal poems. The formal ones are on the laptop, which just died. Not permanently, you understand. It just needs to be plugged in. So the informal ones I write on my phone, and this is one of those. Powerful technology. A woman named Pilar saw me come to a near fall under the weight of my groceries at the neighborhood H-E-B. God bless you, she said. I'm okay, I lied, just gotta get to the bus stop. She looked me over and dropped the purple stone she later said she carried for luck. No, I'll take you, she said, even though I was going to Congress and she was going to Nanjak. I wasn't very good company. I really might have keeled over in that parking lot, so I don't have a lot more details to tell you. After she dropped me off, I waited till she was out of sight. I walked to the nearest group of homeless people at the car wash and gave away bottles of Gatorade. Whatever you want to call it, there's peace in the universe. Okay, these are very short.
All right. Coming up next, we have Scott is, there he is. Wow, you were hiding.
Scott Bunyan.
All right, everybody give it up for Scott. Yay!
Okay. Enough with the words, the sounds, the meanings. The fact that I can point to a fan and say fan. Yet underneath, the transcendental. The pulse that means I can reach out my mind to your chest, forgive me for a second, and feel your heartbeat. That in and amongst ourselves is something so grand we know. And I don't mean like, oh, maybe what I should watch for TV is tonight is this. But we know what we love. We know it. We can hang on to it. I love poetry. I love coming to open mics and watching people say something perhaps they wrote, perhaps not, perhaps something they've never said before. Each one is a new thing to fall in love with. Is it the same for all of us? Who knows? There are enough people in the world. The way I look at it, there are 7 billion people in the world, and there are 7 billion religions. Each one unique to ourselves. Perhaps you like this, perhaps you like that. Perhaps I like wearing funny shirts because I like thinking about my kids. Perhaps I like the sound. Perhaps not. It could be so many different things. And I am not one to deny that it indeed has its artistic sensibility. That I can write with my hands or play with my guitar, something that perhaps in my love shares the stream or flow of the river with your love. And they all go that way. They all go to that place that says outside of this room are 7 billion minus 40 or so people who have their religions too, their loves, their passions. To me, it hints at the word, please everyone forgive me, truth. I had to spread my arms out for that one. Truth! Like truth! There is a truth because I know what I love. The 3 hours we spend here is evidence that there is also truth in you that you love. I thought to myself before I came tonight, as I gently caressed my guitar and she gently sang to me and said, "Oh, thank you for loving me like this." That 2 hours hence, aka now, I might be loving y'all with my ears the same way I loved with my fingers then. It's a joy, it's such a joy. I have to say it again. Truth! What joy! I know what I love. And even what makes it so much better is you know what you love too. Wow! Let's all go out and buy roses and give them all away to everybody. Peace.
I like that sentence. All right, and coming up next, we have, oh, look at him. He's sitting out there all nice and pretty. Just sitting pretty, that's what you're doing. Yeah, cooling off. All right, Magic Jack, everybody. Yay! I was jealous.
I'm chilling like a Joe.
It's so cool.
I'm chilling with the chilling with the Keep your head up. Keep your head high. Don't look down, I'll tell you why. There's a beggar below and a fool up ahead. A corporate man's Friday girl wound up dead. The way you see is the way you roll. Keep your eyes clear, then you'll know. Thieves in the night, thieves in the day, which are worse, no one can really say. Some ride a hog, some wear a suit. They're looking at you and all your loot. Now I saw your heart in the lost and found, but you cannot buy love by the pound. Surrounded by your angels of the Lord, not those angels that you can't afford. The heavy heart you just cannot lift, but the angels hold it up even when you drift. The way you love is the way you live. Keep your heart open, then just forgive. They're looking for glory, they're looking for might. Looking for a sword fight, looking to smite. The Holy Spirit just left town. Don't look like love, gonna linger here around. You want your angels at your side. Scary nights when you just wanna hide. Pay with love, or there ain't no ride. Pay with love, or there ain't no ride. I'm gonna go back out there and chill a little bit.
All right, thank you, Magic Jack. And coming up next, we have Tara. Oh, she's surprised! Yay!
What a surprise. What?
What a surprise! Did I surprise you?
I am always surprised. Life is a surprise. Every moment, just breathing is. I'm surprised I'm alive. It's a surprise. Okay, the title of this is The Beloved Self. Before we slip into sleep, a pain of loneliness we weep. We long for our soul's mate, not knowing our beloved awaits. The other lover does not exist, while the one inside persists. This beloved is you, for who you weep. Follow your tears, swim in your sadness, drown in what is pulling you under, rise up from your slumber into love with yourself. Into love with yourself as the beloved. You are the lover, the greatest gift you can give to the world.
Thank you very much.
I don't know how to.
All right, you want to pass it off to Emily? Emily. No, don't. Yeah, just no. That looks really cool, but yeah, it costs.
She wants to read Lulu.
Lulu, all right. See, I heard it. That's all right. All right. Yes, Emily. Oh, you need. Oh, there you go. Ben Franklin to the rescue.
Okay. This poem is called Fabled Retirement. The firstborn bought her a house along the river, where her old footprints now trace mud from the banks. It's no island of shallot, she said, but I suppose it will do. Lying in the grass, she likes to watch the water ripple, like the pleated skirts she wore in her yearbook photos, or the bellows of an accordion played by her Italian man the August she took that secret trip. She likes to watch the tree branch in the water, how it arches like a claw, green turtles mating on top of its wrist, while kayakers soar past the giants with glowing paddles brown and gold like leaves. Her favorite part of the day is lying in her bed, praising Zeus she never married, and then the nursemaid stirs in her purple slippers to make the scrambled nightmare with runny eyes over easy flames. She misses blowing into glass bottles with Maureen, the stories they shared when pressing their ears against the belly of a seashell. Maureen with the wrinkles on her forehead, like ghostly veins across butterfly wings. All those stories Maureen told her about her childhood and about her husband with the scalpel, her husband with the hobbies. The time he gave her a good talking to, like Bluebeard with his sword in hand. While she kept the key in her pocket, her fingers stained from the past. The time he turned her hair into strands of candlewick. The time he made belt studs of her freckles. The time he sentenced her to 12 years of bleeding without the fringe of his garment to touch. She loved the way Maureen played in the water, how she looked down and saw her reflection as a lady, weaving her story from the loom, about a life with no grace left to lend, where castles once ruled the land, and mirrored children never looked so small.
All right, thank you very much. And coming up next, we have. Oh wait, I've got two mics. It's this guy with two mics.
Yay! I've got Mike.
Potato Mike with two mics.
Triple
All right.
mic. Triple mic.
This is the other poem that I read last year, a year ago, when we had it on July 4th. Sort of keeping in the theme of things. This is called Barkers and Politics. Come one, come all, to the oldest charade in America. The trickster poet all, the slightest of hand politician. Sharing the same secrets behind the curtains, knowing the same shortcuts behind a mark's eyes, for pulling the heart and purse strings of the millions of marionettes. The bleeding speechwriter, the alligator-eyed orator, the donkey debater, the elephant enunciator, are in a symbiotic shout-off, turning the noise of irony into soundbite harmony. That is nothing more than the braying of microphones over the fumbling economy or the stampeding clouds of their rolling thunder. That is all the misdirection away from our ideal, jolly lady. See this as a coin, distinctly symbolic of one of our oldest, most insidious shows, that only becomes more brass with every tumble that it travels through the air. From the thumbs of Americans shouting, "Donkey heads," or "elephant tails," who, for the variables of reason, are blind to the fact it's no matter who called it, it's still the same corrosive coin that falls on this land. It's still the same corrupt circus that fools the ticket holder's hand. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all are lovely. And God, there's so many people here. This is awesome. Y'all are all awesome for being here. I love you so much. Oh, wow. Yeah, I got 2 mics again. I'm just so excited. We meet every Thursday, the first Thursday of every month. Thank you all for being here. Again, I'm Michael McClanahan, aka Poet. Poet Mike? Potato Mike. Both of them work. All right, coming up next, we have Cynthia. Yay!
Rothko, the chapel. You with your Mozart, cigarettes, red wine and dark doorways, create a cradle for the soul, an invitation to remember the star hidden in my heart, the wave of light, a guide, a path to perfection, where I find you, listening to Mozart, smoking, drinking, and seeking through dark doorways, seeking through dark painted canvases, a doorway to me.
Thank you. Coming up next, we have Jamie. Is he gonna read?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is. All right, everybody, give it up for Jamie. Yay!
Oh man, now I'm not gonna read though. Too late. Too late. I'm already up here. Alrighty. So did I fool anyone about my last thing I said? Alright. Alright, I thought I'd give that a shot. Guessing, is it any guess? I guess you, I guess me, I guess and miss, I guess and see. I guess and think, I guess it's me. Yeah, really now, I guess and blink. All I can do is not miss when I come to a guess. Next at bat, me! Swing and a miss, and another miss. But yeah, I guess this is right. And yeah, I guess this is good nights. No, this is something. No, this is good morning. Hello. Why am I saying good morning when there's still time to PM and still time for the story? Yes, it's that story to keep the sleep from drawing me deep. Error I erred when I thought. I should have guessed to keep it greasy so things would be easy. Who's it easy on? Upon who do I heap those sheep that leap? Those sheep that leap that count on folks going to sleep. Bah, 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 said the lamb. I guess I'm crazy. Crazy as lambs are talking to me. Or are they yelling, wake up! I guess one must be dreaming when lambs start a convo. Next they'll sheepishly ask me for my number so they can call me. Ring, ring, ring. I didn't forget you, they say, with their ba, ba, ba. But I'd like to forget you, I sing, sing, sing. I'd like to forget you, I sing, sing, sing. I ask, how do you know my number? That's easy, they ring. We got it while you slumbered.
Oh,
All right. And coming up next, we have this very lovely lady sitting to my left. We have Mary. Yay!
That was so kind. Well, I have some exciting news for you guys.
Yeah?
I filled up all the pages in this book. Yay! So this is the last poem that I wrote in this book. So I guess it's called Ode to Book. Goodbye, book. It took a long time and many a rhyme, but now your pages are filled. I spilled my wishes and wills, clever thoughts, and still there's more to be said than you allow. Now, don't pout, but I already bought another book. And if you took it as a replacement, don't, because I just need my space, and I can't just erase all the places we've been. Remember when we met at half-price books? And I took my time and liked the looks of your spine, your exterior, how your pages didn't have lines, so much room for the new, unexplored. I saw potential, and your pretty price tag said, damn, I'm going home with that. Now, please don't be sad. I'm really even glad, because we had our fun, but the room remaining is slim to none. Now, I gotta run, got a date with no one, but I still love you, can't you see? I know it's hard, but really, it's not you, it's me.
Oh, wow. I think that notebook might be calling you, like leaving voicemails and stuff like that.
Stalker notebook.
All right. Coming up next, we have Daniel. Yay!
So I was hoping to have something political and current ready for tonight, but I don't. So I dug this one up. This is probably about 15 years old, so some of the specific references are out of date, but the basic gist of the poem is depressingly relevant. This is a few thoughts on or by the Christian Coalition. In God we trust, except that is in questions of government. He's a big guy after all and doesn't fit so well into such mortal institutions as Congress, the Supreme Court, or the Constitution. Besides, he's busy these days getting saddled up for the second coming. And boy, is he coming. He's coming down into all this. He's coming down, and brother, is he pissed. He's going to be president. He's going to kick some ass and take a few names. We figured we'd give him a head start on the list. Because I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord. I said I'm a soldier in the army of the Lord. And may I say I'm proud to be the smoking gun in the right hand of the Lord, who, in keeping with tradition, was framed for our sins. We pulled the trigger, but he got nailed for it. So be of good heart, we shall overcome, we shall become the world. We got us a whole host of earthly angels, spirit-filled, sanctified generals of the gospel, going to march us right across the Jordan without getting our feet wet. They're going to lead us around Washington, screaming songs, humming hymns, 7 days and 7 nights, and brother, those walls are going to fall. We're going to make everything all right. We're going to get back to basics. Open every school day with prayer, praise, and an altar call. We're going to burn the blasphemous likes of James Joyce and Billy Burroughs, build a bonfire with a stack of Stanley Kubrick films, throw in Hugh Hefner, Norman McCorvey, and the body of John Lennon. And on this fire, we're going to make some bricks and bake them thoroughly. You got to have bricks to build a house for God. And we're going to build ourselves a church, the biggest goddamn church you've ever seen, reaching even unto the heavens. You know what I mean? Can I get an amen? Am I talking your language?
Amen.
This is our destination, brothers and sisters. But to get there, we must be strong. For in our strength, His weakness is revealed, or something to that effect. We got to be firm. We can tolerate no dissension. For narrow is the road that leads to somewhere. I don't know. Forever is so far off. And in the meantime, the road to the White House is paved with good intentions. And Jesus is crying. Jesus is crying.
Amen.
But don't worry, we'll cheer him up.
All right, coming up next we have DG. Yay! A new voice too.
New voice, new poem. Elvis.
Actually, I don't write poetry, but I wanted to share a poem anyway. It's a traditional Mexican poem. It's super short, so I'll say it in Spanish, and then I'll tell you what it's about. Aquel caracol que va por el sol, en cada ramita besaba cada flor. Que viva la vida, que vive el amor, que vive la gracia de aquel caracol. And if you don't know Spanish, it's about a snail. It goes very slow. Every time it sees a rose, it kisses it. Long live life, long live love, long live the grace of that snail.
Yeah!
All right, I like that. You go, snail. All right, and then coming up next, we have 2 more poets left, and then we're going to take a 10-minute break for, is this, you going to read?
Yeah.
Oh, 2 more. 2, yes.
Daniel and Robert.
Daniel and Robert. All right, we have 4 more poets.
Ooh, yeah.
And then it's going to be the end of round 2. Another picture? All right, we want to do another picture. Yeah, because there's so many more people here and so many more beautiful people.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely need to do that. So, coming up next we have Lulu. Yay! Another new voice? Yeah!
Alright, so this poem's kind of dark. Or it's pretty dark. It's not necessarily about something I experienced, but about things I've kind of experienced, whatever, just part of my intellect, consciousness, sacrificed to get that buzz, to have a good time. I lay down a fraction of my lifeline before a shaky hand. Behold the flame. Human, I give you life. Breathe in the smoke of temporary insight. Great writers telling us to take something from this experience, take it and live it. But your mind a clogged up hole, rearrange the particles the only way you let go. Unclogged the hole, but nothing went through it, except for the memories and pills and needles and the seeds of dependency I would unintentionally water with my tears, while you give them plant crack downing ounces of beer. Yeah, you're making a mistake, but I won't stop either. I'd rather lose my mind in concept of time than walk around being a simulation of standard human experience. Humans reproducing in currency of copy and paste, but I pour whiskey on their computer screens because I've chosen to stumble to a separate place. And my friends are the ghosts of people like me.
All right, coming up next we have Chris. A new voice? Yeah, give it up for Chris. Yay!
Hello, everybody. My name's Chris, and I'm actually Mary's brother. I'm in town visiting for the weekend, coming from Houston, and she had told me about this poetry night in the past, and she told me it was this Thursday. I said, hell yeah, I want to go. And she said, are you going to read anything? And I said, well, I don't know. I mean, I have something here or there, but nothing really like fully made out. So give me your book, and I'll see what I can do. And so I came up with a song that I actually just finished. I came up with this inspiration when I was running one day in Houston, and it was a very, very hot day, as most days in Houston tend to be.
Yeah.
And I'd had this trip planned for a few months, and I knew I'd be coming, and I knew the weather was going to be so much nicer, and there was going to be so much more nice things to see and do. So without further ado, this song is called Forest Greens and River Blues. Well, I just had about enough of this city, this concrete oven of gray. I'm just about done with this bright yellow sun. It's burning me and blowing me all away. But there's a place I know, there's a place we can go, where you and I can just be free. Take me down, oh take me down, oh won't you take me down with you? I just want to see all that is and shall be, the forest greens and river blues. And I just can't take this bright red heat, ashes and dust in its wake, and this black asphalt cracks underfoot, a comfort that's all but fake. But there's a place I know, there's a place I can go, where you and I can just be free. Take me down, oh won't you take me down with you? I just want to see all that is and shall be, the forest greens and river blues. Well, I've got to get back to the city, this concrete oven of gray. It's been fun, but now I've got to run, but I know I'll be back someday. You know why? Because there's a place that I know, there's a place we can go, where you and I can just be free. Oh take me down, oh won't you take me down with you? I just want to see all that is and shall be, the forest greens and river blues.
Alright, very nice. And we have our last two poets before round two ends, and then we're all going to take a picture.
Yeah.
A little camera is going to capture all our beautiful faces, and it's going to go up on the San Marcos Poetry Night Facebook page. It's going to be great. Yeah, that's a lot of beauty. That's totally right. So coming up next, we have, and I have such a horrible memory. Did you say Daniel?
Yes.
Yes, he did say Daniel. I'm not imagining things. We have Daniel! Yay!
Okay, this was written by my friend Trey and performed by me. A chance, a new life form, brought about by catastrophe, an organism in the void, the null. Endless bliss, one last chance. Will you see the end? Soul released, edge of life, I. When everything feels empty and every shred of hope has been lost, don't fear the end. Death is only a figment of your imagination. We grasp this mortal coil as if it is the end, as if it is the only chance we get. There is nothing when we aren't here. There is something when we leave, a light, a feeling of pleasure, of nostalgia, of love, of hope, of dreams, and of pure happiness, the feeling of letting go and ascending into a higher state of mind in which nothing can harm you, and in which you have no desire for being alive. Death is a beautiful thing. Embrace death as you would life. In life is love, and love is pain, and pain is loss, and loss is death, and life is death.
Thank you. And our final poet for round two is Roberts. Everybody give it up to Robert, yay! And then just a little friendly reminder, we're gonna take a picture after that. It's gonna be awesome. Because y'all are awesome.
Hey, I haven't been here in like half a year, and so since the 4th of July is tomorrow, I thought I'd read a really pertinent something written by somebody else. It's called America by a group from Slovenia called Laibach. It's called America. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Are your stars still so bright? Does your banner still wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Are you heaven on earth or the gloom of the grave? You, the people of the United States, did you form a perfect union establish justice, ensure tranquility, secure the blessings of liberty to yourselves and your posterity. How blind can you get? For your country, right or wrong, America, the melting pot. Praise the Lord and praise the Holy Spirit to save us from your freedom. Justice, peace, accordance and illusion, from arrogance and pride, from violence and confusion. Your great despair and great depression, satanic verses of your superstition, the land of plenty. Your Bill of Rights, the enterprise, the free will and the unbroken one, your self-esteem and self-desire, your trust in God and the religious fire. America, the end of history, the end of time, the end of family, the end of crime.
All right, thank you. All right, everybody, it's that time. It's picture time. All right, everybody, it's about that time for round 3. All right, and so kicking it off, as always, we have Tom and Magic Jack.
Hey! If there's one thing that I love, separation of church and state. I like fun, not fundamentalism. When they mix my church and state, I get confused. I say I cannot pray to a God I do not believe in. Like authority, blind authoritarianism. You see, if I were in England, they would be playing God Save the Queen and praying at the start of every day. It's bad enough in Texas classes that you put your hand on your heart and dedicate your life to dying for the flag wrapped around. My friends have PTSD from too many wars, you see. I want to enact peace, ceremonial. And if you say this is only wish fulfillment, I would like to remind you there's a Constitution and a Bill of Rights which says separation of church and state. And if you do not believe it, you're in the wrong country. You see, this blessed country separates church and state authority. You say Hobby Lobby. You will not shop there anymore. But then again, you look at all the stores like Chick-fil-A that isn't open on Sunday because they say that's a Lord's Day. I say every day is our day. Don't wait for gods to tell you. Remember they were sacrificed for Old Testament. Abraham was told to kill his only son, sacrificed for gods of desert Sumerian. That's Old Testamental son. The new one came, and the point was not the crucifixion, it was the resurrection of the human spirit, the hope that every one of us might levitate beyond the gravity of the situation. And by being through and beyond, we can say that we separate from the past of hate and fear into the present, coming near of everything we love and hold dear. Well, everything that is the future is enacted in the moment. The core of all is fear. And we say no, it's love right here. Separate the past of hate and fear into this moment coming near. Fear no Lord, no government at all. They can tap as much as they like. I simply say the same thing tonight. We are future children.
Oh, right, wow, this is on the entire time. I'm glad I didn't give you any feedback, because that was lovely. All right, and coming up next, we have the poet, Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin!
Shake it, baby.
Okay, last time I did this song, I thought it might be a song, not sure. Like to say I'm a poet. I like to eventually have just a song to say that I did it. But this one is called, by the way, it's capital H, little e, capital A, capital R, capital T. It's called The Heart of Texas. Sifting thoughts quiver like the side reflected banks of a gentle Colorado, cascading subliminal melodic lyrical lines that cast lines adrift, Austin highlighted. rippling heartbeats, some medicinal waters, resonates tranquil in meditative powers of Mother Nature's heart sing, nurturing sensations with sensual soft peace. Gentle breezes traverse musical harmony, rippling a magical sashaying sound melody, tuning adrift musical strings of the Colorado, feathering a light tune in the heart of Texas.
All right, thank you. All right, coming up next we have Louise. Yay!
The birds in the trees sing to Thank you.
I think that's the only reason why I come. Just so
I think so. And if my mother were here, we could say, Marie, the dawn is breaking.
Oh.
You know, it's hard to write about profanity without using profanity, but I tried. Scatology. I'm not a big fan of the scat, George Carlin notwithstanding. It adds nothing to the language and displaces words of meaning. It's like putting beans in Texas chili. I know it's the way people speak, but I wish they could hear themselves. Am I the only one who gets the gist? Do they see excrement when they say it? Is fornication proper punctuation? Does every object have to be an Oedipus?
Whoa, I love that. I love that line. Yeah, that's deep. Nice. That's deep.
Think, people. Think of your words. Are those the images you intend? Do you need to substitute each phrase with random, thoughtless profanity? If you must, use it appropriately. And above all, use it sparingly. I'm sick of all this crap.
Wow, the salty language. Everybody, I'm just going to throw this out there as a public service announcement. Do not look up scatology on Google unless you're feeling very brave, because there's some stuff out there.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, actually, and turn off safe search too if you're feeling like really risky.
This day.
Okay. Okay, Jack is left, right? Am I correct? I think I saw him.
Yeah, Jack eliminated out.
Jack Henry, go on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then coming up next we have Robin.
Robin!
You want to sit down?
No, I'll stand up. I just can't. Okay, thank you. Yeah, good. Okay, let's see. This could be a very short poem, and because of that, I'm going to give it a really long introduction, so I'll take up more time. I don't like air conditioning, and I really don't use it at home unless my cat seems to be kind of iffy. It's kind of bad because I don't need it myself, and it's expensive, and it's bad for the environment, and all that sort of stuff. And
I'll turn it off when we ride home.
That's okay. I don't have a car anymore either, so it doesn't matter. But because of this, I write poetry between 12 and 3 in the morning, pretty much, because it's a little bit cooler at that time. And before I do that, of course, I have to eat dinner. So this is a really, really short poem called Ramen. I want to make some ramen and maybe add frozen carrots since the stuff has to boil a little anyway. In spite of my retro student cuisine, I no longer buy El Pico, but instead drink whole bean Rudamaya coffee. Dark roast, of course, and I don't scald milk anymore, but drink coffee black.
Yes!
I have switched from peanut butter to crunchy almond butter of the same variety. I can run on, but the water is ready, and I want to eat before starting a new poem.
Thank you. All right, coming up next we have Scott.
Scott!
Yeah! Give it up for Scott.
Yeah!
Great Scott. We have
Fantastic.
and he's gonna bring this whole place down with him.
He will.
One of the
challenges, I don't know what you would call it. I don't have the right word for it, but I heard over the last hour or so several poets talk about a similar topic in a similar way, that being this country. And those who know me know I don't do politics very much, almost never, for good reason. But so I'm going to do this as best I can in honor of my father. My father's birthday's tomorrow. There's some things about America that are wrong, very wrong. Things we've done, I think of Birmingham, I think of what we did to the terrorists personally. And for those of you who would say, in disgruntled fashion, one way or another, America is wrong or flawed, keep this in mind very firmly under your feet, in your groin, in your chest. If you were to do some of the things you do in this country and another country around the planet, you would be in real trouble. So when tomorrow comes, keep in mind the things you can do. Like me, speak openly about how flawed the government is. Every government on this planet is flawed, and there may never, ever be a perfect one. The only government I can see that's perfect is that of human beings relating to one another and in love with one another and sharing their open-heartedness together. We bear witness to someone who decided with their own free will to come to this country and stay and went through the things they did on purpose. And you think about all the other people who did the same thing. It's a joy, it's a treasure. I personally, from my perspective, sit on my back porch and smoke cigarettes like there's no tomorrow. I am free to worship whatever God I so choose, even if it's just cigarettes. And tomorrow I'll call my dad and wish him a happy birthday. And I think about people who say, oh, death is where you want to go. Life is just a miserable doorway to the better life. I think I would break Louise's rule about profanity if I was going to do that. Life is a miraculous and wonderful thing. It reveals itself to us in so many simple things. It wasn't since the Quakers that this country had a group of people that didn't believe in music. There's music in every corner of this fair city of ours. And the nice part about it is it goes to other cities around the planet. And there are people in Paris right now singing songs in their language in Bangkok, in China, Peru, Australia. I know it's hard to remember sometimes when bad things happen. I, for one, love this country. Not for what it is, but for what it chose to be, what it sets as an ideal. It sets as an ideal that every man can come here, relate to one another in the best way humanly possible, even though humanly possible has its own limitations. Let's not take for granted what we have to be able to do. I'm going to do a little guitar riff and let it play me out, okay?
right, thank you, thank you. All right, and coming up next we have Magic Jack. Yes, yeah, this guy. Yeah, this guy right there. Yay, Magic Jack. Yay.
Just a reminder, the prize.
Oh, yeah.
Still
Yeah,
awaiting that winner out there.
What if the winner left already?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, that was part of the thing. If you didn't stay,
Yeah.
too bad. S-O.
You gotta stay to play.
You gotta stay to play. No missing time.
That's just the way. Hey, hey,
Right, okay.
And no ninjas moves.
Oh!
Huh?
No ninja moves. It's a joke, Joyce.
Oh, it's a part of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll laugh.
Thank you.
I don't get it, but
That's okay.
anyway, you tell me later.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're Scott's not political. I am very political.
Proud of you.
I'll show up at any rally, any march. Man, I want to be in it.
Vote for that.
Anyway, tomorrow, the 4th of July, we celebrate all kinds of things about this country, but today I'm going to talk about hamburger. It's a very special thing to us Americans. Now, I don't advocate McDonald's.
That's good.
Okay, but I do go there.
Coffee.
But sparing.
Yeah.
Ice cream.
Sparing.
Coffee.
Chick-fil-A?
Elder coffee cheap.
Not so much.
Ice cream. Yeah, good ice cream.
Good restaurant.
This poem is called I Prefer Whataburger.
Yes. Yes. At midnight.
I prefer Whataburger, 100% American beef.
Yeah. Beef with that.
No beef.
No beef.
No eating now?
American beef. No mistake. They say, or P. Terry's along the way.
Ah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Drive in, eat out.
Yeah.
Tasty, juicy big bun.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone seems to be heading to the new In-N-Out
5 minutes.
at airport.
Yeah. Not us.
Yeah, buddy.
Long lines.
Yeah.
Yes.
Drive-ups too.
Yeah.
Have you noticed?
Yeah.
They're there for just me and you. Great prices. Friendly staff. You know, some read the paper worried about dying from a racker. Yet they speed like demons, making life-threatening turns. Who cares if we crash or burn? We came, we ate, we sped off. Isn't that the American way?
Fast food.
We take whole countries the same way.
Yay!
No way?
No way.
Way.
Way! Whoa! Very good.
You stay, Mike. All right, coming up next, it's this guy. Yeah. I really like being able just to introduce. You should be able to do that everywhere that you show up.
Yes.
I guess who's here? It's me. Yay! Yeah. All right. So this is another old one. I think I actually read this one last time too. So a little bit of a preface here. Poem's called Vulgar. It's about a certain website called Suicide Girls that have certain models that are naked, tattooed. I saw this one particular model with this tattoo that I saw it, and the first thing I thought was, I have to write a poem about that. That's kind of weird, but that's who I am. All right, Vulgar. She had a tattoo just below her belly. It was a dictionary definition that read, a strong, positive emotion of love, regard, and affection. An anonym of hate. Those were the letters inked just above her sparsest patch of hair and etched deeper over her heart. She had a tattoo just below her belly, which made me leery to bring my love home. It was just a sentence that I already knew, but still it made me leery to see defined what I felt meant more. All she asks is that you know that definition before you follow that trail in. She doesn't ask if you agree with it, but it's clear that she wishes you acknowledge it before you follow that trail in. Because penetration is only penetrating when love is left undefined. Thank you. I always feel so dirty reading that one too, so thanks for not making me feel so dirty. Oh yeah, all right, yeah, thanks. So coming up next we have Jamie.
That guy.
I read everything.
Oh, he's read everything. He is out. He's tapped out.
Yep.
All right. Well, then coming up next we have Mary.
Yeah, she's all right.
Getting braver with more people.
Yeah.
She's better than all right.
Yeah.
So,
She's okay.
this one is called Bernie, because I've been spending some time out there with friends lately, and it's a very nice place. I like it. The Texas hill country counted on me to notice the trees and not miss the breeze. My summertime bounty bounced full and freely, wading through wonders so wonderfully. As far as bare eyes can see, over the tops of all these trees, the summertime splendor does come with the heat. My seat is standing, my work semi-demanding, my words need less planning, and my way involves handing you just what you need, a cold cup that you can drink, wise words so you can think, or fragrant flowers to stomp the stink. Tromp the trails, we need not rails, or to rush our blushing tails. We get where we need, in due time indeed. We grow and then bloom and then spread our seed. Now coming back, full circle-y, I count on the hill country to keep me home daily.
All right. Coming up next we have Daniel. Thank you, Dr. Daniel.
This is called Gardening Before the Inferno. You can smell the smoke blowing through the tall trees that will all be torches at the end of the day. You should go, but first you take an hour to tie off the tomato plants, pop the hornworms before they ruin the fruits, pick a few wilted leaves, and spread a barrow of mulch on the earth. You give them each a long, slow drink, and look back at the house and the dry trees hanging beautifully over the porch. You'd meant to do something about them. When before you go, you prop up the concrete Christ fallen in a corner of the garden, mossy with years of shade. It can't hurt. But later, when you lose yourself on narrow roads blanked by smoke and the helpless muttering of the radio, you imagine him instead sharpened by fire, moss burned away, eyes bright and wicked.
All right. And so, Mark,
Wonderful.
what's that?
That was you.
That was you. Awesome. Oh yeah, for the competition. Yeah, keep doing that. Very well. Look at our little model here. Let's got Elvis interviews. Okay, and so we have our last remaining poets. We have Daniel. Yeah, no, that's not Daniel. Who is that?
It's Nikki.
Nikki. All right. Yay! Trying to pull me. I know this.
Alright, this is gonna be like our place. Oh hi, welcome, I'm dead. But I wish I fed rhyming well some mice so I can tell my kids of the tale. Or whatever, maybe God can hear my uninspired wishes before he goes and washes his filthy dishes. And yep, about his glory days, some good guy, right? Alright, bye, I'm going away. You really disappoint me, and then with shiny slippers, go on and drive on Big Dippers. See you later, bye.
Yeah.
All right, and possibly our last poet for the night. We have Robert. Jennifer Robert. Does he know he's reading? Yes. All right. It's all about anticipation for the last poets. That's how we end the night here. What's gonna happen? What's he gonna read? Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, and when this is all over, if you could stay behind a little bit and help me put up these chairs and stuff, that would be super awesome. So thank you. All right, everybody, Robert. Yay!
So my last poem here I'd like to read is actually a poem on behalf of my friend Nick Trejo, who I think read some brilliant, random, surrealist bits of poetry. And I'd like to read something that he wrote in the past when he didn't know it was going to be read on the microphone. It's called Fill in the Plank of Muddy Wool. And it actually makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Man of girl took a bitter pill, 'cause he had a little feel. Drunk down many bottles to feel like Waldo. For a while it seems endless until he woke up. Water filled with Larry, fucking Tom and Jerry. Now a new hope arose. It's time you awoke too. At least I made a meaning out of it myself, personally.
All right, thank you very much. Oh, right. All right, that's all right. So all right, we're gonna do the judging thing right now, and for who gets to win this lovely CD right down there, Mary is gonna model it for you. Awesome. Yeah, it's